What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. Alright, so, early day, long. I didn't get to do the event yesterday because I did it the day before, but I've been farming for stuff. And then, since I've been back, I've been hearing about this mythic gear. And I saw, like, yeah, I've acquired some leads. I've yet to work on my antiquities and my scrying. But I was like, oh, yeah, eventually I'll get to it, right? I don't know. I don't like it so much. But then I kept hearing about this band of Malakath. Now, I'm aware who Malakath is because of ESO lore. And then I'm like, what the hell is, I already have like inscribed, hints about the chest plate and stuff. Because, I do vet content, I'm getting the rare leads, but I can't scry anything because I haven't worked on it. And then the band of Malakath, I see, and I'm like, wow, for PvE, now it's been out since Greymoor. So, we got a new chapter coming out. So it's been out for a while, months. And then I'm asking myself, why are PvPers still building Impen? Why? Why? First off, I've never built crit. I try to avoid crit in most of my PvP builds because of Impen. Because base damage in PvP has always been the way to go. We've always known that. But now with the Band of Malakath, I'm like, okay. So now I'm really getting the full taste. It's not just the proc sets. Because now you have heavy armor that is on-chained due to a ring. So it's not even about, it's just, I was like, what the fuck? And of course you're going to sack the monster proc. Why wouldn't you? At this point, why? Why would you give a shit? Why would you care, right? Why? Why would you care? There's no reason to care. There's none. Right? Because it's way more damage. A ton more damage. And I'm just like, oh my god. And I'm kind of twist. I mean, obviously I could level it up, get fast level, probably do it in a couple days, and get it. And then get multiple copies because you can actually do that. And I'm like, I don't even know if this thing sells on the market. I haven't even checked. Because I just came back a few weeks ago. And like about, 2.5 weeks ago? And I'm like, what the hell is going on with Zos, man? Why? You would know. Here's the thing. Who cares about crit? Like, that's a punishment. Okay, we're going to give you 25% extra damage on base, but you're not going to be able to crit. It's like, who cares? Who gives a crap? Does anybody care in PvP? No. And it's like, that's what makes me just really get even. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. I'm understanding it, guys. I'm really understanding the full extent of what y'all were talking about. Like, I didn't get it. I was like, it can't be that bad. I mean, heavy armor is still here. And then all of a sudden, I see that, and I'm like, oh, no, they did not. I'm like, no, they did not. But they did. They did. And I'll tell you, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry for everybody that has. And now, and you know what's even more laughable for me? They want to nerf TBS. I'm like, you're going to nerf it, and yeah, you came out with that? Wow. I mean, I get it. Like, the whole mythic, you know, but Daedric kind of like items, and, you know, I get it, but you really, guys? And, you know, the funny thing about it is, they haven't nerfed it. And you know why? Because it's a gimmick. Now, here's my prediction. Here is literally what I'm going to predict. The new chapter comes out, and Nat gets a ban hammer. Not by much, probably about 10%. Because let's be honest, at 15%, it's still good to farm for, but it makes it questionable whether you or not you want to implement it at all. At this point, everybody's implementing it. And I was just like, I was even more curious after the fact, and I decided to pop in on people's builds, because typically I don't use other people's builds. I kind of do my thing, what works for me, right? And then all of a sudden, I came to this, you know, I was looking, and everybody's implementing it. Oh, I gotta go back in. But everybody's implementing it. Everybody. I went to so many random PvP people I know and people I don't know. They all have this ban, and I'm like, wow. And everybody's going to call me toxic. I'm like, wait a minute here. You all are using heavy armor with this ban, all of you, and I'm toxic. Shut the fuck up. Really? Really? That's rich. And I was like, wow, man. I mean, it's to the point where, you know, and my Elizabeth was telling me about the one-hit light attacks, and now I get why even more. I'm like, well, that even makes more sense. You can literally put even a bow build with marksman, that band, literally, marksman, that band, the master bow, and literally just one-shot people with a bow like nothing ever even happened. You can literally, like, it's ridiculous. You can use Clever Alchemist, proc on the back, right? Marksman. And then literally, with that band, one-shot people. You don't even have to try. You wouldn't even have to. It doesn't matter what. You could pack up the Impen through their shoulders, right? Put the sharpen on. And even if you're under, at that point, it's just a one-shot guaranteed kill rate. And I'm like, oh God. That's pretty gross. That's just gross. It's literally gross. And I'm like, whoa, man. That's foul. And I'm like, why would ZeniMax implement that? I'm just questioning it at this point. Why is ZeniMax implementing? I'm trying to find a vendor. I gotta sell some stuff. Why would ZeniMax implement that type of gross shit? I don't know, man. I'm just beside myself, and I think it's gonna get a nerf. I see it getting a nerf bat. Like, without a doubt, major incoming nerf. But they'll wait, because it's the gimmick. It's right now. It's the gimmick, you know, to push, you know, that whole function. It's the gimmick. And it's disgusting. It's gross. I'm like, wow, Zoss. Holy crap, Zoss. You guys did that just for the gimmick. That's kind of pathetic. It's gross. And now, I just don't think Zoss cares. I honestly just don't think ZeniMax cares about its community. I mean, I would like to tell you different, but it is what it is. It's gross. It's foul. But that's a whole new level of foul. You can scream foul because how do you combat? How do you counter? It's always been questionable how to counter in this game, right? With certain mechanics, right? That's always been one of the core issues when it comes to ESO. And I love the game. There's a lot of things I love about this game. The worlds are beautiful. You know, the PvE content is very robust, right? It's insanely robust. And it can be challenging. So it's great. It is literally great. It's even got things for those people who want to be, you know, hardcore elitists. But one of the major things, they don't ever think about PvP. And if they do, they just don't give a shit. They just don't care. I didn't get one motif this run. That is crazy. Maybe I'll be better luck with whatever. I'm going to go the merchant, and I'm going to see if that's... because I don't know if that's bound. I imagine it's bound to the account. At least I would hope. But... that to me is crazy. I'm just like... if this is on Auction House, I would even be more like... why? Why? That to me would be nuts. Oh my. It shouldn't be here. It shouldn't be, right? There's no way. There is no way. No way, no how. It can't be. And if it is, it'd be super expensive. Let me check. Okay. No. I didn't think. I mean, like I said, motifs and whatever, house item. So it's...
May this one be...
but literally, God. Oh my God. I gotta switch tunes and do this on another tune. I gotta break down too. But yeah, I don't know, man. I honestly do not know at this particular moment. Oh God. You know, there are just days. I've been gone and I walk back into this. Well, I got, you know, I don't know if anybody gives a shit, but I'm going to ask you guys as an ESO community, why haven't you guys fumed over this? You guys celebrating it, but you should be fumed over it. That's what's even more funny. It's like, you guys want them to break the PvP. It's almost like you're asking them to break the PvP in this game. It's just like the way it is. It's like, and now I see why most of the hardcore content creators are browsing, or they're limiting the I get it. I'm now even understanding it further. I'm now getting this. And the community isn't even trying to get Zoss to stop. It's like, what are you guys doing? You guys should be ranting the hell and back. You guys should be so peeved, but you're not. You guys should be like so mad. I would be so mad just to even see that crap. But you guys aren't doing it. So who's the real problem? You know, it comes back to this. Who's the real problem? Is it ZeniMax or is it the community promoting it? Because guys, I'll be honest, man. ZeniMax isn't going to change it if you don't voice it. ZeniMax will let the cest pile up because you guys will keep paying for it. You guys will keep dishing out the money because you don't really care for them to fix it. You don't care. I mean, wow. Really? You guys let that go on for a year. You guys should have been on the forums demanding a nerf back to that immediately. Because PvE, it doesn't matter. For the PvEers, who gives a crap? You're going to sack crit for base damage in PvE content? No, absolutely not. It doesn't bother you once. It doesn't bother PvEers one bit. It doesn't affect them. It doesn't. It does not affect them in the slightest. But for the PvPers, whoa. Yeah, that's kind of game breaking, man. In a lot of ways, especially with heavy, the way it's been overperforming for years. And they're finally addressing the heavy, which is cool. And I think it's going to be one of those issues that, okay, yeah, we are addressing it. And I'm actually happy, and I think that's a positive direction. So I'm not going to go ahead and, I think ZeniMax has learned a thing or two in the last year. But have they? Have they? Has the community? Because the funny thing is, it's the same dominating classes. It's the same uncounterable abilities. Every class has an uncounterable ability to an extent. But I can name them off, and you guys know I can, and you guys know them. So here's my question. Do you want skill-based PvP or no? Because I think more or less what feeds this community is the broken mechanics. And Zoss knows it. And they're like, yeah, we'll give you more. If you guys want more, we'll give it to you. We can make broken shit all day. That we can do that. Believe it. And you guys are like, yes, nerf this. Now give us some other broken mechanic. It's like, wow. Okay. Seriously. You guys let this happen for a year? Wow. I'm glad I came back when I did, and I didn't come back for elsewhere. I'm glad I didn't come back in the beginning of Greymore. I'm glad I came back now, and I want to thank the people who told me to come back now. Because that garbage is irrehensible. It's completely I would have gotten it, but I wouldn't be happy about it. Think about this, guys. I ran Sork for a couple months, and I quit playing it. Yet I was smoking people with Sork. Why? Because to me, the class is just dumb. So I'm pretty decent I was decent on the Mage Blade, as a mixed healer type thing in that role. I did really good on Mag DK. So Mag DK was my main, and I still do really good on Mag DK. Oh shit. I was about to say, this one's a bitch. I will not be able to fuck with this by myself. Okay. There's somebody here. This one can be a bitch for all my stamps. I'm still working on like stamp positioning and stuff. Mag, yeah, I've soloed these on 2-3 different tunes before. I mean, I know stamp players that can do it. I'm just not that coordinated on a stamp. DPS is fine, but you know, positioning, that's why I put the heel. I was like, oh snap. But no. The mythics are cool. Like I like the idea that they put items in that have a niche effect to them, but when every PvPer is chasing the same piece and doing the content for that purpose alone, that's a flag. It's like, okay, oh yeah, it's great. It's really good content. No, it's not.
We have been betrayed. They are upon us.
Nice. Like I said, my timing on stam needs to be improved with things like that content. Not having like tanks and stuff. Hold on. I need to kill. Oh yeah, the ghost. I was like, wait a minute, I'm not done here. Hey man, there was a ghost there. Snap. Two. I'm trying to find it. I cannot believe it. I just literally, though, I did bump into it last night. I was like, what is everybody raving about with this band? I mean, what the hell? They can't, I mean, there's broken stuff, but it can't. And then I saw it, I was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm like, and nobody wanted this nerfed. Nobody even thought to, like, hey man, this is a problem in PvP, so could we tone it down? I'm not saying completely get rid of it, but make it where it makes it questionable. Right now, it's not questionable. It is not even debatable. It's not. It's not even debatable. Alright. How's it going? Yo, how's it going? This and that. It's going good. I'm just doing the events, trying to get some more motifs. And now I realize what everybody was talking about with this band of Malakath, man. I was like, what's everybody talking about, man? I didn't get it. I did not get it until I looked it up. I had to. I was like, okay. Am I missing something? is something really like off? And then I saw it and I was like, how, man? What? Impen. Here's the question. Why is everybody wearing Impen? Here's the deal. Impen only affects crit. It only protects you against crit. And it takes it off of that damage. It's a deduction from the critical damage you take. But with the ban of Malakath out, and the majority of people running it, and you can sustain with a lot of these builds, why are people running Impen? Question. Why? What's the purpose now? I mean, before there was purpose. You wouldn't want to get crit because that hurts. It hurts really bad. And I totally understand that and I agree. But now, point why? Why? Let's say even only 20% of the PvPers, but most of the hardcore PvPers are running that. A lot of them are my friends. I've looked up their recent builds. They're all have it in their build configuration, majority of them. So I'm like, why are people messing with Impen? Why? Because that isn't going to protect you. It's like tissue paper. You might as well stack up infused, divine, reinforced, and Nirnholm are very minuscule. Very, in my opinion, it's not enough. It's not. It's not enough mitigation, to be honest. I would rather run infused and then grab the Mundus, yeah. Or grab Divine and grab a defensive Mundus, then run Reinforced or Nirnholm. Because it just never was adequate. It just never was. And I'm like, but now I'm looking at this and I'm like, why is anybody wearing Impen now? There's literally no point to it whatsoever. And I honestly wish that wasn't the case, but it is the case. And why am I the only one bringing it up? Has anybody else thought about it? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's easy for everybody to jump on a bandwagon and say, oh yeah, oh, the band, my content's going to cover that, because everybody has that. Here's the question I want to see from a content creator. Me asking the same question. Why are you wearing Impen? Why even bother at that point? I mean, why? You can call me David. Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot you changed it. I just run... Dude, Dragon, excellent point, man. It helps in BGs. Not against that. Not against Malakath. Impen doesn't work in BGs if they're running Mal. Dude, my one dude posted a video of him put on Malakath in a battleground. He was two-hitting people, and some people were wearing like 3 or 4 pieces of Impen. It's junk. It's junk. It's tissue paper, man. It's tissue paper. And why have you guys not switched, man? But Dragon, excellent point, man. Well fitted. And that becomes a question. Should Reinforced and Nirnholm get a buff for other type of mitigation? I mean, we know there's going to be a major problem with health recovery, but Dave, you ran recovery. You know recovery so well, dude. You used to run like a lot of recovery stuff, and I think we've even had that discussion about proper recovery and things, and like when I was still playing, because your sustain was nuts, especially on your wolf, man. Because I think we talked about my problem with stam and recovery. of maintaining it anyways. And, you know, I was just like, should ZOS be taking a look at, you know, bumping up the mitigation system, especially if tanks are getting, you know, a reduction in their, you know, their healing capability. You know what I'm saying? Oh, wrong way. But yeah, man, tissue paper. It's all tissue paper, man. Am I going the right way? I can't even tell. Yeah. Excuse me. Dang it. One second. Let me check the comments. Malakath, right? Oh, that's how. To be fair, Malakath runs through about everything, right? That's why I'm saying I agree. I agree with you. I can see that. That's why I'm saying you might as well just go with some other. You might as well just go with something else. Don't bother with it. You might as well put in more damage with infuse and max out Magicka or something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at that point, you literally are just wasting, you know, everything on defense when you can sustain so much better. And I think you would agree with, like, there's multiple ways to sustain in this game. You know? There's multiple ways to build around sustaining, but around DPS, you know, like I said, man, you can run a clever marksman build with that ban, no monster proc, and you can literally one-shot people like it's nothing. Like, okay. You know, you thought bow was bad? Give me that ban. Give me any class with bow. Well, not any. I could do it on my blade for sure, especially since I transferred him. I could even use the master bow. Master bow, marksman, banned, drop the monster proc, just dead. And people will say cheese ball all day long. They'll say it. They'll be like, that's such a cheese ball. That's so cheesy. Oh my god. Did I complete this? No way. Okay. I gotta go up. This place is like a little maze. Coming through, coming through. Coming through, coming through. Alright. Coming through, coming through. Damn it. Is that the way out? It is. You know what messes me up is these icons. Now it shows up. You know, whatever. Don't take me driving. Don't ask me for directions. Like I said, I'm not good at everything. Oh man, I was gonna heavy up. Of course he would dodge roll. Hold stealth. Split up. All right. alright. Yeah. I'm trying to beat them from their reset point. You know, why do they always wait until you have to do X, Y, A, B to get to the last part? I just wish I could have skipped all that and whatever. Okay. Nope. Bad Mystic, you're using all that stam. I know. I'm terrible. Well, that's cool. Okay. Cheat. Alright, let me check out the comments. Sylvia, what's up? Well, when someone isn't using mouse, yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that. When someone uses it to switch to reinforce on my way, werewolf. Right. You know, and that's what I'm trying to say, man. I'm literally like I wish somebody would have told. Well, you guys should have told me about that. Terrible, bad. You guys should have been like, yo, Mystic, go check out this band on Greymore, man. You should get it. You guys should have told me. I was in Battlegrounds, man, running with against pre-mades and wondering, well, you know, some of these sets, some of the proc sets are bad, but I was like, even looking at the damage, I'm like, am I missing something? Something seems a little different with that set. It like from the tooltip, it shouldn't actually be that effective, but what am I missing? And now it all comes together. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, okay. And, you know, and I'm watching these people's build videos and everybody has it. And it breaks my heart because I'm like, oh man, it reminds me of the willpower, you know, agility days when every build had it. It didn't matter your secondary, right? It didn't matter. It did not matter. Everybody was using willpower agility, PvE and PvP. Remember those days? You guys remember those days. Come on, man. Come on, we remember those days. You know, if you were here, you remember. And everybody was running it. It didn't matter. Oh, cool. I mean, I got to check what kind of... Oh, I forgot to open that. I can't. I already have a treasure map like that. Bait kit, memento. This container can be traded, mailed. What's the bait memento? Okay. I'll give it to my main. He'll get it. But, yeah. I wish somebody would have told me. I was like, oh, snap. Yeah, willpower, agility. Yeah, those days. Remember those days? Remember those days. And then, that was before, you know, weapons were a two slot, right? And trial sets were really shitty. I was like, why are you wearing any trial set? because it's a trial set. I'm like, it's garbage. They're like, it's not garbage. And I'm like, yeah, it's garbage. It's total junk. It's crap. And everybody was looking at me like, what? And I'm like, listen to me. It's garbage. It's not worth even having. Not for nothing. Because you were sacrificing a stat. And I would say the same thing with the weapons. Because I'm like, I can stack 2 sets. Or use 1 set, a monster set. Have a switch. Proc. I'm like, seriously, why am I gonna do that? You remember the switch builds? I can understand why that came back. Because I was like, why? The switch builds are back too? Because when I first saw one person's build, he was running a switch build. I'm like, why would you need to run a switch build? And then he gets to the ban, and I'm like, oh my. I'm like, oh my. Wait, I don't want to go to my house. I'm wanting to my home. But, no, I get it. I finally understand. So, I'm dropping Impen. I'm totally dropping it. Well, I mean, should I? Because here's the question. What's going to happen? I'm really looking forward to the PTS and seeing what they change with the armor bonuses. I've seen a few things, so I am very, there's a lot of hope there in the configurations, and I really enjoy the fact that they're not, requiring 5 pieces of a bonus now. It's like the first 3. So I like those changes on the patch notes. And I was like, okay, this is cool. This is all good stuff. Because now you can reconfigure appropriately. I mean, you get more out of any piece, any type of armor, right? So it amplifies by each piece. And you can still use the Undaunted passive, right? To get that bonus. If you wanted to. Or you can go with, a 7 for a full, you ample up your spell penetration. So there's a lot of pros. The same thing with like medium armor and crit. But the question of it is now, who's building medium armor crit? Medium armor is going to do better in the base damage, for with a lot of things. Well, speed even. But who's going to run crit in PvP? So medium armor, that stat is just gone. Even if with the nerf to the crit, even with nerf to crit, right? Even with the nerf, why is anybody going to want to build crit when they want the base damage? You might as well go with light and stay heavy for the penalty. I think Zoss is like not paying attention. That ban, that stupid ring at that rate is ridiculous. I say they knock it down 10%. I say it goes down to 15 after the next chapter. I say it gets a ban. Not a ban, a nerf. It gets a giant nerf back. It's a gimmick piece right now. And I hate when video game companies do that. Wizards is on a kick right now. Like, I was playing Magic the Arena until this last, and like Tybald's Trickery and all of these like combos like that are completely just ridiculous came out, and I was like, oh my god, that's a 2 red hard that could either be you. I'm like, forget it. And it's a gimmick. They do this to make gimmicks for selling points. And I felt like Malakat's ban is that essence. It's the selling point to do the scrying. It's like, oh, you know what? You want a really powerful mythic ring? Well, we have it in our new chapter that you can dig for treasure. And all I think you have to do is just buy and play the new content. And you can decimate players without any effort whatsoever. And I was like, what a gimmick. What a gimmick. Well, that's garbage. Get that mementos. Laugh out loud. That's hilarious. Yeah. Oh, really? I haven't been collecting mementos a lot yet. Like I said, this wasn't my main platform. You guys know that. I probably should. I've been trying to play catch up. So I got a lot of tunes. I'll be busy until the chapter comes out. So, and I'm hoping Zoss. I'm really hoping Zenimax definitely address. But what a gimmick! What a flipping gimmick! What garbage, man! I'm surprised the community let it happen for an entire year. Because everybody was probably anticipating a nerf, and they're like, just let it ride. And everybody's like, yeah, let's use it while we can. And then people call me toxic. That is the bullshit of it all. I'll come out with some toxic stuff. I will. I admit this. But then people use that are calling me toxic. Boy, the audacity. The audacity. Such hypocrites, man. The hypocrisy is so thick in this game, man. I'm just like, wow. Seriously. Like, I'll be honest, man. If I was over there, I'd say this, man. If there was an ability that is not counterable, we address it. That's as simple as it is. I wouldn't change the classes. I would address, the issues, with certain abilities and stuff. And from my understanding, that thing comes in bloodthirsty too. I was like, I was losing it, guys. I saw the ring on a website, on one of the ESO websites, like Wiki or something. I forget. I wanted to look up these mythic items, and it has all the mythic items listed. And I was like, okay, what's the band, everybody? And there it was, just in the middle of it. And I was like, oh, shit. I'm like, that is gross. That is nasty. That has to be some of the foulest shit I've seen in years. But yeah, no, seriously though, I hope Zenimax learns a little important lesson. Bad Zenimax. Bad Zenimax. But everything on this new chapter looks amazing. The patch notes actually surprised me more and more. The CP system, it'll be interesting because there are some problems that everybody has mentioned. Health regen is one of them. Health regen currently is a major address. Especially, poisons used to be a way to go with, sustains, right? Until they nerfed them. Remember when, poison drained up to 50%? Then they nerfed it down to, what was it, like 30? And now it's only 10? Like, they nerfed that bitch twice. I used to run drains. I was like, I'm just going to drain them out. Who can fight you when they're just drained to death? And that's what I ran. Every build had poisons on it. Every build of mine had poisons. Because I just was like, it's too yummy not to do it. Now the Malakat's the same thing. And everything that's too yummy will always get a giant whack-a-mole. So, like, I'm starting to question, should I do it but just to have it? I don't know. I've never been one of those players. You know? I'd hate to start. I'd really hate to start being that player. You know, you're going to do the content because it's the best in slot. You know, I've never been that player. We know that. Okay, what do I got to do here? So I still have to, those from days ago. I didn't wait for the binding. Oh, I just gotta find dude. I know where he's at. He's up there. But I do have to go back that way. So I forgot that's blocked off. Man, I hope you guys are taking advantage of the event. I'm a little disappointed with the vendor because there's only like one thing worth getting. Everything else you can earn pretty much through the game by doing the event. So I'm like, what's the point of listing all of this, right? What's the point of it when I can just acquire it? It's okay, buddy. I got you. Okay, now I've got to do fuels for our fires. Did the incitement. Oh, that's because I picked something else up. I think I could travel there pretty cheap, yeah. It's just easier to do it that way. Do you just talk to yourself all the time? Yeah, dude, obviously. If you don't like it, why are you watching? He's our what event? It's the Clockwork City Morrowind event is going on. That's why I'm streaming it. And anyways, James, like he's that dude that has to keep making those accounts. He's my little stalker. Did you guys see this last night, man? I got my perfected master bow. I was like, there was a couple people like farming normal, and I'm like, man, fuck that. If I'm going to go in there, I've been in there like all these times. If I'm going to farm it, I'll just do it on vet. There's no way I'm doing it on normal. There's just no way, you know. It's not that hard of content. The last part, you know, can be a little whatever, even if you cheese it, you know. But, you know, whatever, you know. If I want to do something for it, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I don't feel whatever. I mean, I'll farm normal it's about time. I don't feel doing normal as a time saver on that content. That was my whole debate. I told somebody, like, look, you could farm this on normal. You could. It's not going to be that much of a saving, you know, in time. If you get people who know mechanics, you know, you're not spending much more time at all. Certain things, yeah. Like solo instances, like I think every solo instance is 10 times easier But like group content, if you have like we ran 3 deeps, man, all self-sustained, and I think we spent like a little over an hour, you know, in there. So it makes no sense. That's like the whole thing I did with Bet ICP. I'm like, look, man, if your rotation's tight and you know what you're doing, you're good to go. I can roll a pug who knows what they're doing. I can't roll a pug who doesn't know what they're doing. It's not about like whatever. It's just like, hey, man, it's not about what your gear is. Rocking. Do you know the mechanics? Do you know your rotation? Cool. Let's do this. I don't give a shit what you're wearing. I don't give a damn. If you know the mechanics and you know you got a you know your tight rotation, well, I mean we're good to go. I don't know why I have trap still. I should have switched that out. Yeah, no, dude. They have like, I think the only thing worth getting on the vendor is the skin. There's a skin. You got to grab these pieces. Everything else you can get, literally, by doing the event. Everything else that's on the vendor. So I didn't get it. I was like, I'm not getting this at all. Why put it on the vendor if you can just earn it? Oh, snap! I didn't have that. And you know what? I've noticed a lot of Stams running 2H builds now. 2 of the dudes, I was running on my mag, and the 2 other Stams were running dual or 2H builds. So it's good to see. It's good to see people who understand things. You know, eventually, you know, it feels good. I told you guys, sooner or later, Mystic always gets his way. Sooner or later. Okay. I gotta get oil. Okay. That's it? I think. So we're out of here. How's that feel, James? Ugh. Even when meta players will convert to Mystic's ways. Tribunal event, right? If I wanted it, why would I use it? Here's the deal. The VMA bow is only good for mob clear. Even if you put it on a boss, we've went over this multiple times. I've tested it multiple times. It's the worst single target fucking bow for a fucking Stam. Yes, it's great. It's great for trash clears. It's the best for that. It is. It is. It absolutely is. It's horrible in comparison to the Master Bow. Even if I use it on a build, if I do. Sometimes I don't because I stack. I'd rather stack base damage. Depending on my format. It's all about the numbers there, James, which I know you know nothing about. That's fine. I mean, the 300 weapon damage on single target, you get through over 300. You get over. You do. Actually, I'm thinking about doing the vet, not for the bow or the staff, the 2H, actually, for PvP. Because I was like, but question of it is, do I want the extra stat? You know, it is a couple more minutes. You know, it can be a pain in the ass. Whatever. I do it on a mag tune. I'm not good with, you know, whatever. I can't pull stam in that type of content as well as I can on a mag. But would I do it for the bow? Would I do it for the staff? Absolutely no. No. I wouldn't give a fuck. Would I do it for that 2H? Possibly now. Because I actually am going to run that with blood. Yeah. I'm going to run that 2H with the blood set. And with the Malakath. It'll be bad. It'll be really bad. Because as soon as I seen that Malakath, I'm like, yeah. I'm getting that 2H out of VMA. Believe that shit now. You're believe that is going to happen. That is so happening. Everything else I don't give a fuck about. I typically don't. But you, like I said, you know nothing about any of that, man. You wouldn't know. You never have. And people like you don't. No. That starts a quest. Screw that. I'm just trying to find oil. I need one more thing of oil. I should have picked up the rubidite, but oh well. About to say, I know there's not really a dead end here. That is. Well, that sort of sucks. You know what? Like I said, dude, people like you make me laugh. I've been laughing at you guys for years. I'll just go underneath the main city bridge. Yeah, he don't ignore him. I'll put him on block in a few because he's a moron. He thinks he knows, but he never did. He's never had a clue. Yeah, everybody's always kind of whatever. Like the perfected gear. I can't, like the perfected stats for trials. I can't argue that. I can't. Like, is that best in slot? Yeah. Why? Because of stat stacking. You grab a perfected weapon, right? You run a perfected trial set. Ideally, you have whatever, and then you have a base set. And now you've amplified by 2 stats. So the one stat that you usually would miss, because there's always like protection element to a trial set, right? Because that takes away from base damage. It always has. That's why willpower and agility, that's why I told people don't run that. It's garbage. It's junk. It's junk. It's garbage. It's fluff to keep you in here. The proc isn't worth it. It's garbage. It's junk. And then all of a sudden people would be like, oh no, it's not. Yeah, it is. It's total junk, man. It's just stupid. It makes no sense to even run it. Well, now they made that up. They're like, oh, we're going to put a new stat to it. Well, add that with a 2H slot, a double slot bonus to a perfected with the extra stat. Well, yeah, now you do have a progression system, in the game, which before it was optional. I mean, I did switch out builds. If I wanted to run a trial set, I never ran it I never ran it as a static proc. It just never made sense to, because I just back bar proc it.
I can no longer verify
Yeah, I took these last night because I knew this was going to happen.
I
So,
hope we did. Thanks. When I hand
once again, I'm trying to get motifs, play catch up.
Did you? Oh, you. What? You get me though?
Yeah. So it doesn't make any sense, man. Never did before, but now, you know. Man, let's hope I get something good. Nope. Nope, I'm saving that. Nope. 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 Yes. Excelente. Oh. Oh, my inventory's full. Oopsie. Gotta break stuff down too.
I can't.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I love the fact that, you know, I ended up, you know, because you're like, you ain't getting a perfect anything. I was like, shut up, dude. I had it before. It's like, God. Like, I can't. You people kill me. Like I said, I don't cover that content. If somebody wants to do that content, fine. I've tried to do like just the normal shit, man. This type of, and maybe throw a couple of toxic builds here and there. Most of my builds are for people who aren't, you know, readily accessible. Who, you know, they may want to progress, they may not. I don't know what their agenda is. I don't know. But I've always said, you know, you can build around not having things. That's why, what I wanted to build this channel around. The numbers, the facts, and in offering people alternative solutions. Okay? That's what I wanted to build my content around. And I've done that before, you know. Yeah, he's just a troll. Okay. So yeah, he's completely gone. He'll make a new account. That's what he does. You know, that's what he always does. He always does it, Sylvia. He has over. He's the one that posts porn comment. He posts porn links and then gets like banned by YouTube for trying to like sabotage my content. I'm like you know, there's an algorithm looking out for that type of stuff because my shit's monetized. Like, what an idiot. I'm like, wow. I see like a comment. This comment's been removed due to inappropriate, like, you know, standards and stuff. And it has nothing to do. It's not banning my content. It bans his comment. But yet he posts it. He's one of those type of players. He's a butthurt dude. He argued with me about diminishing returns because he said diminishing returns aren't real. I'm like, and he didn't know what I did, but in, you know, the past. Not like I announced to people. By the way, I was an equity specialist at 19. You know, yeah, 19. I was an equity specialist. So yeah, I mean, it's nobody's business. Nobody's. But that's how I knew the math. It's like, you know, I studied this math since I was probably 14 years old. You know? So, you know, I passed my state boards like at 19. Got, you know, worked for a major corporation. The banks mainly. And yet this dude's arguing with me about diminishing returns. I was rich. Like I said. Oh, snap. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back up anyways. Okay. Is that a lore book? Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, no, there it is. Oh, no, that's a pewter seam. But I do need it for the other quest anyways. But... Nah, man. Oh, by the way, how'd you like that little prediction on my Facebook? Sylvia, I forgot to ask you about that. That was good, wasn't it? Wasn't a prediction. I love it. I love, because even around my home, like people, my friends don't question me. They just think I'm an asshole. One of my friends is actually making money, though I'm not giving technically advice because I'm no longer licensed to do so, so I don't give advice. But at the same time, he's like, dude, that was slick. He's like, I made some money off you, by the way, for just mentioning it. I'm like, nah, I didn't mention shit, dude. I didn't tell you what to buy or give you a recommend. I just said what was going to happen. He's like, right, you did say what was going to happen. I'm like, yeah, I just, you know. Okay, that's why. Yeah, but he literally was arguing the whole time for when I was mentioning diminishing returns. He was such a little fucking... He wanted to try to be a content creator, and yet he didn't understand the numbers. I was like, why are you even trying, dude? Yeah, I haven't been on it much either. Like about a month and a half ago, I mentioned the bank, like how the stock was going to the fluctuation in the market, and based on default rate and trends, that the service in the banking would actually yield a better, buying option by the end of February, which ended up panning out. Which I knew it would, but whatever. Okay, how do I get back up? I have to get back up, right? This place is like a maze, man. Okay. Okay, I just gotta do the ore. Okay. Is that the door out? Yes. Okay. But yeah. Like I said, man, if you want to do content, do content. Do it at your pace. Do it at your level. Don't have to be everybody and everything. If you want to get perfected for something, do it on normal. Learn mechanics as best as you can, because sometimes it lacks mechanics. And then push yourself on a vet. Try different figurations. Listen to recommendations. I don't know what to tell people. I really don't. Do what you want to do in a game, right? That's the best recommendation I can make to anybody. That's about the best recommendation I can ever make. People are going to be toxic no matter where you go, what you do. That's their thing. I'm in the wrong building. But at the end of the day, I like to discuss things with you guys. Like Dave, me and him and Dragon and all of us and Irish, and we all have discussions. It's not about me being right. I'm asking questions, and then they make good points, and I'm like, oh yeah, am I a know-it-all? No, I don't ever try to be. I don't want to be a know-it-all. There's certain things I'm good at, just because of how I was in life, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I don't know, man. I just feel like there's people like him that they can't let go of, yeah, I don't need that. can't let go of them being butthurt, and then they're just like, he, and then they troll me for the rest of my life because they're permanently butthurt. And it's like, dude, I didn't do it, man. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not the one that made up the law of the law of diminishing marginal returns. Any type of percentage math, it applies. I'm sorry. I am so sorry about that. Okay. Let it go. Just because I told you so, and you didn't want to listen, and you look like a dumbass for not listening, that's not my fault. That's what I always tell my friends. I'm like, are you going to listen to me? No. Okay, fine. What are you going to do? This is what, listen, man. I'm going, not this blood set, not this set, but the other, there's a set, I think it's on my other tune. I am totally wrecking that. I am totally supporting it. I'm just letting you guys know. Heads up. I'm going to rock that out. I am so rocking it. I think I have a belt, so I don't think I need it. There's a couple sets that's kind of interesting too. Some new sets that do have kind of like, caught my eye, and I'm kind of like, oh, I might try that out on something or something. So, yeah, I know, just dude's annoying. I ignore him. He's easy to ignore. Why don't you ignore him or laugh at him? I guess I didn't want to be the bigger person at that point. He has no point. He hasn't made a point. I've given that dude multiple opportunities to make a point. Throughout the entire time I was a content creator, before I gave up, I actually gave him the opportunity to make points. And he doesn't. Ever. He never made a valid argument. So I just gave up and just laughed at him and started ignoring him. Because I was like, dude, okay, just make one valid point. And they're like, he's like, blah, 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 blah. Like the whole thing with the bows, man. It's like, look, VMA bow is good on trash. It is. On single target, no. I mean, it does good. I mean, it does amp the endless hail. But against a master bow on single target rotation for burn, no. Shut the fuck up. No. Never, ever, ever, ever. And yet everybody will still listen to that content. Even Outcast had to do a video addressing it because he got called out. He got called out on it. He got called out. Why VMA bow versus? He got called. And then he's like, how VMA bows work. He did that. He did a video on it. Because the single target, if you're single target on a boss, once you put poison injection on it, you get 300 and X amount of weapon damage on that target. That, all your abilities do more damage than one ability. That's a fact. Nobody's changing that. Nobody. And then, but did I say that everybody should have this? No, I did. I have never said that. Why? Because it's like, is it a perk? Yeah, it's a perk. It's a total perk. Right? It's a total perk. I just might just go do this really quick. Because every time I go in, like, I'll miss the boss. Then I'll have to come back out and whatever anyways. Or whatever. So. But yeah, it's a perk. Everything's a perk, man. Progression and whatever. But, like, I honestly think, like, I still remember when I was getting ragged about elegance. I put that elegance build together, with Necropotence and then ran Precise. And then I ran the Thief for my crit. And people were like ragging on me about the Elegance. But I was running a Power Overload build. Because Power Overload's, you know, attacks. So, 1 second. Oh, that's my daughter. 1 second, 1 second. Oh, my daughter got off early, so I'm going to end the stream. All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you guys for showing up. Dave, Dragon, go check those guys out, man. Go check out my dude. Sylvia, thank you for stopping in. And even James, thank you so much for hating on me. As always, I'm Mr. Craven. This is Mystic MMOs. Peace.